Once you log in to Toastmasters.org, you'll scroll down to the section that is listed as the annual business meeting, and you can click on the club proxy and voting instructions. From there, you're able to designate who will be your proxy holder. One thing that I want to make sure everyone knows is that we need to have our proxies assigned by.
Welcome to the first episode of D50 After Dark. Today, we will be talking with our guest, David Dunn. David is a longtime member of Toastmasters in District 50. He joined Toastmasters in 2018, and since then, he's been an area director, a division director. He's held every club office role except for treasurer and secretary, and he is our current Chief Judge in District 50.
District 50, mark your calendar for a spectacular fall education festival that is coming your way. It is our much anticipated Fall one-day event, an unforgettable experience packed with excitement, knowledge, and celebration. There will be education sessions for our members, as well as a banner parade for all clubs who participate will earn a banner ribbon. There'll be inspiring keynote speakers, fun Hall of Fame, crazy raffles, and DTM ceremonies. So save the date, October the 14th, and join us in Mesquite, Texas at the Hampton Inn and Suite located at 1700 Rodeo Drive, and be prepared to be challenged, engaged in learning, and best of all, an enjoyable day with your Toastmaster friends and family. District 50's Fall one-day education event. Stay tuned for more information.
We are here today with David Dunn to discuss proxy voting in Toastmasters International. First, David, could you start us off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, Mickey. My name's David, and I have been a Toastmaster since 2018 and have held several roles throughout District 50. I've been an area director, a division director, and I am currently serving as the District 50 Chief Judge. I've also held all club officer roles except for secretary and treasurer.
Wow. Well, thank you very much to your service to District 50. We really appreciate everything you do for our clubs. Well, David, you're here today to talk to us about proxy voting in Toastmasters International. And so just start us off with kind of a high level understanding of what we're talking about. What is proxy voting?
Thanks, Mickey. High level proxy voting is each of the clubs are given a chance to assign their two votes to someone that will be at the convention's annual business meeting. And this gives them a chance to vote on the different candidates that are running for the board of directors and as well as the international second vice president.
Okay, well, David, so we're voting for these positions in Toastmasters International. Which specific positions are up for election?
This year, the odd numbered regions are up for election for the board of directors. There are 14 members of the board, and the odd numbered regions, so regions 1 through 13, odd numbers, are up for election. And then we're also voting for the international president, first vice president, and then the contest that everybody's really watching is going to be for the second vice president, because that person will then move to first vice president and eventually become the international president.
Wow. So voting for second vice president is our opportunity to, down the road, pick who the international president will be. And with the board of directors, what region are we in District 50?
District 50 is in Region 5.
And so we'll be electing the Region 5 uh, director?
We will be electing the Region 5 director, but we'll also be voting for all of the other regions as well. It's the same as when we vote for our division directors. You vote not just for your division, but all of the division directors. It's the same thing with the board of directors. We vote for all open positions.
Wow. So this really is an opportunity to influence the Toastmasters International leadership across the board.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And so we'll be voting for our representative for our region. And will we also be voting for the international president?
The international president is already elected, but yes, we will be voting for not only the Region 5 board member, but actually all of the odd numbered regions, their board members as well. We vote for all candidates for the board.
Right now, I understand we were talking before that the international president, there's only one choice. So it's the second vice president that's the key vote in for the executive positions.
Absolutely. The second vice president is the international officer that actually has more than one person running for that office. First vice president and president only have one candidate each.
Very good. So we're voting for our Region 5 board member, and we're voting for the second vice president, and technically first vice president and international president. Well, look, we live in a country where I imagine most people aren't even motivated enough to vote for their congressmen. Tell me, why should Toastmasters be motivated to vote for their board member in the international committee?
This gives the members and clubs of Toastmasters International the ability to affect change on an international level by selecting these board members that will serve for 2 years, and that they will help lead our organization that we all love into the future.
Yeah, yeah. And what kind of issues does Toastmasters International decide? I imagine they decide things like the dues increase that we're about to see. Anything else?
The board members are involved with the strategic planning of Toastmasters International, and they are the ones that decide things about our educational program. So the board is the group, the governing body that decided that we would adopt pathways as our educational system, and they're the group that help lead making other changes to our contest, to all aspects of Toastmasters lives.
Wow. For us fans of Toastmasters, this is pretty exciting. Now, does any member of Toastmasters get to vote in the proxy system, or is it only certain individuals?
Only the president and the secretary are able to assign proxies, but any Toastmaster member that will be at the business meeting is able to carry those proxies and are able to vote representing their club or other clubs. The three choices that you have when assigning a proxy vote are you can select your district director, a member of your club, or another Toastmaster of any club, and assign your club's proxy vote to them.
Great. So in a moment, I'll ask you more about how we actually execute our proxy vote. But first, I think it would be important for people. A lot of people don't know much about what's going on outside of their own Toastmasters club at a district level, let alone an international level. So if someone wants to participate, say you're a club president or club secretary and you want to participate in this, how do you learn about the issues at stake and the candidates that are running for office?
Great question. The easiest way is to go to Toastmasters.org and then click on the About, and finally click on the Board of Directors. There you'll find out about the members that are currently serving on the board. And on the left-hand side, you're able to select International Officer Director candidates. And from there, you can find out more information about each individual candidate.
Okay, very good. So let's say I'm a president of my club. I've decided I want to participate in this. I go to the link that we're going to provide to our listeners to find out the issues and the candidates that are up for election. My next step is to go into Toastmasters.org and assign my proxy vote. So where can I find that?
Once you log in to Toastmasters.org, you'll scroll down to the section that is listed as the annual business meeting, and you can click on the club proxy and voting instructions. From there, you're able to designate who will be your proxy holder. One thing that I want to make sure everyone knows is that we need to have our proxies assigned by August 11th. And then we need to make sure that our proxy holders are available August 12th through the 15th for the credentials process to make sure that the votes will count.
Okay, so we're publishing this interview August 1st, 2023. They'll need to have their proxy assigned by August 11th this year. And every year it's basically the same time frame, correct?
Absolutely. It's a few days before the international convention. The convention may move around by a week or two, but absolutely, it's always right before the international convention.
And as long as we're talking dates, the people who are assigned the proxy will be voting on the morning of August 18th, correct?
The business meeting will happen on August the 18th, and then the winners of the elections will be sworn into office on August 19th at the induction ceremony.
The very next day. How exciting. Now, you mentioned when you assign your proxy, you'll have three options. You said you can assign it to your district director, which I guess is the easy way to do it. You can assign it to any Toastmaster, or you can assign it to someone in your club. Now, if you're assigning it to any Toastmaster, is there specific information you'll need to be able to assign that proxy to that Toastmaster?
Yes, sir. You'll need to know what their member ID number is. That way, Toastmasters International can assign it to the correct person. You don't want to accidentally assign it to the wrong David Dunn or the wrong Mickey. By having that member ID, you're able to assign it to the correct person.
Yeah, and that is the number that begins PN dash followed by numbers that's at the top of your profile page in Toastmasters.org.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay, and if you pick the option of someone in your club, you can of course pick yourself and participate directly in the voting process on the 18th.
That is correct.
If someone does that, what do they need? What else do they need to know, or where can they find more information about how to fully participate in the direct application of proxy vote?
we'll make sure that there is a link in the podcast description that will take them to Toastmasters.org, and there's a short 7-minute video that will give them detailed instructions on everything that they need to do to either assign their proxy vote or to vote themselves during the annual business meeting.
All right. Well, David, we're about to wrap up here. Before we do, I want to ask you, is there anything that you would like to plug that you're involved in as a Toastmaster? Anything you want our members to know about you, or how they can support what you're up to?
Thank you for asking. As District 50 Chief Judge, I would wholeheartedly ask that everyone sign up for judges training and sign up for chief judges training, and help us have enough judges during the contest season to not burn our judges out because they've had to judge 3 contests in a row on a single day.
All right, so participate in judges training. We like to end each episode off with a call to action for our listeners regarding our topic. In today's topic, proxy voting. What is that one action that you definitely want our listeners to take today after listening to us?
I want us to encourage all of our members to go out, click on the links in the podcast description, and check out those candidates for the International Board of Directors and International Officers, and learn more about each of the candidates so that you can make an informed decision on who you would like to serve Toastmasters International.
Well, very good. David Dunn, thank you so much for coming to teach us everything we need to know about proxy voting. We'll have the links to the 7-minute video, candidate information, and other FAQs. And to all of those listening to us, thank you for being a Toastmaster. We'll see you next time.